Okay, let's jump right in. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're doing a narrative retelling of almost disjointness principles and Q-space cardinals. We are going to map some incredibly rigorous set theory proofs to what feels like a cosmic journey of transfinite judgment. We'll be looking at how deep mathematical invariants aren't just abstract numbers, but actually act more like the invisible constitution of reality itself. Sound crazy? Well, let's get into it.
Abandon the finite, all who enter. Here the laws of mortal arithmetic end, and the transfinite absolute begins. To really wrap our heads around these complex mathematics, we've got to leave standard numbers completely behind. We have to enter the transfinite void. In this space, the finite judgments and those dictatorial rules of standard arithmetic, they simply don't apply anymore. We're stepping into an arena where infinity is the absolute baseline.
Section 1. Abandon finite, all who enter.
So think about the standard natural numbers for a second. That's the mortal realm, what the research calls persona zero. It's where finite dictatorial systems rule the day. But we're leaving all of that behind to descend into a totally different space, the transfinite underworld. This is the realm of non-principal ultrafilters. It's essentially this chaotic space of infinite collections where absolutely no single number holds power. Down here, the infinite void actually turns into structural goodness.
Section 2. The purgatory of disjointness. Okay, so the crucial point here is that in this mathematical purgatory, a finite intersection is basically a forgiven sin. By definition, two infinite sets of numbers are considered almost disjoint if their overlap is strictly finite, meaning in the sheer vastness of the transfinite, any finite overlap is literally just cast aside. The universe just ignores it. It's this profound mathematical grace where small, finite errors absolutely do not ruin the infinite structural harmony. These rules act like the engraved laws of an ancient cosmic ledger. They prove that down here, finite judgments just do not matter. The Fréchet filter sets our baseline. You can think of it as the foundational rule of law here. It guarantees that finite sets are cast out into the dual ideal, which effectively treats them as zero. Only the infinite carries true structural weight in this new reality.
Section 3. The scales of weak separation.
Think of this as the ultimate transfinite scale. We're literally weighing families of infinite subsets to determine their ultimate topological fate. Weak separation introduces what we call a judge set. This judge reaches out and infinitely overlaps with the families we deem good, while maintaining only a mathematically harmless finite overlap with the bad families. Let's walk through exactly how this single subset acts as an invisible dictator. The judge set, let's call it set X, renders a strict binary judgment to separate the wheat from the chaff. Step 1, it validates family A by infinitely intersecting with it. Step 2, it rejects family B by ensuring any intersection is strictly finite and therefore, under our new transfinite laws, completely irrelevant.
Now, this elegantly answers a major open question in ZFC set theory. Imagine a symmetric ledger that is perfectly balanced. That's our add P equals DP. But if we impose the requirement on the rejected family instead, we create an asymmetric dual variant, add P2 equals AP. It beautifully shows exactly how the asymmetry of our judge's ledger alters the cardinal architecture of reality itself. It's a real game changer.
Section 4. The dark wood of trees. At this point, we're no longer dealing with flat sets of numbers. We are now lost in a dark wood of infinite subtrees branching infinitely downward. This introduces the tree cardinal, known as AT. Instead of basic subsets of natural numbers, we're looking at almost disjoint families of infinite subtrees. This encodes much deeper, way more complex separation properties than anything we've ever seen on the flat number line. So you might be wondering, why traverse this dark wood at all? Well, because Urysohn separation, which is a higher topological axiom that strictly separates points, actually requires a countable combinational object to keep track of weak separation across infinite branches. The tree cardinal provides that necessary bridge. It prepares us to ascend from the branching chaos into the higher heavens of the Q space. Section 5. Ascension to the Q space. And here it is, the ultimate reward in our mathematical divine comedy. A Q-space is basically a topological heaven, where every single subset is a perfectly identifiable, fully realized G-delta set, an intersection of open sets. In this space, all ambiguity is just burned away. Every subset is perfectly known and permanently classified. It's totally devoid of the chaotic unpredictability you'd find in lower cardinalities. Let's look at how these transfinite principles stack up. At the base, we have standard T1 spaces. But look at the middle. The tree cardinal we just survived acts as the vital bridge to the ultimate separation at the top, denoted as Q2.5, where every two distinct points have disjoint closed neighborhoods. A guarantees the structural integrity between these levels. It basically holds the whole shebang together.
Okay, let's dive into a real mind-bending twist. What if the tree is just an illusion? Using what mathematicians call Brendel's model and assuming the generalized continuum hypothesis, which is a famous rule about the sizes of infinity, we can actually physically force a mathematical universe to exist where AP is strictly less than AT. This proves that the dark wood of trees is strictly larger and entirely distinct from the almost disjoint purgatory we just left behind. Basically, our ascension has multiple possible universes depending entirely on the axioms we choose. How wild is that?
Section 6. The final transfinite truth. The enlightened shape filter with finality. Development is an illusion. Think about what this all means existentially. In the transfinite remainder, what mathematicians call the Stone-Čech compactification, all these judgments are already fixed. The limit points and the ultra-filters exist completely outside of time. Our mortal perception of development or step-by-step mathematical growth, it's just a localized illusion masking a predetermined transfinite ledger.
This represents the inescapable boundary of the transfinite. This is beta n, the invisible constitution. Within this absolute boundary, the massive branching possibilities of the Kuiper canopy and the dead-end branches of Arensine traps all reside together. The laws of almost disjointness and Q-spaces dictate reality in this space with total, unyielding perfection. The judgments? They have already been rendered.
So I want to leave you with this thought to ponder long after this explainer ends. When we look at these transfinite structures, the tree cardinals, the filter forgiveness, the Q-spaces, are we just inventing these rules to solve abstract logic puzzles? Or are we simply discovering the cosmic laws that have literally been judging the infinite since the dawn of time? It's something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this journey and keep questioning the infinity around you.